stress brings about sickness. I've seen it. Like anxiety, like I literally want to claw my hair out. Like I ended up in the emergency room. I thought I was having a heart attack. It's because my whole side was spasming. Like it was like stress. Like so, I think because I feel like if your mental is not intact, nothing else is gonna be.
Absolutely.
I hop out the wheel like a fence. 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 I'm on the moon like a Jackson. I hop out the wheel like a fence. I hop out the wheel like a fence. I hop out the wheel like a fence. I strip the door like a latch. Boy, I'm a fiend out of heaven. I just wanna give me a mess. You live at the top of the planet. And walk.
What did you do for your mental health while you were locked in the wall?
Well, the first couple weeks I couldn't do much of anything. I mean, other than get up. I couldn't really, wherever I was, like if I was upstairs, I would have to stay upstairs. It would hurt so bad to walk downstairs. But I did a lot of reading. Watched a lot of Netflix. And I slept a lot. I don't know if that was, I was tired. Yeah, I don't know if that was, I was just tired or was like, I don't know, it is like
Probably trying to recover.
Yeah, that too. But
And depression.
yeah, I've never, like I ain't never, cause like I said, and I think too, when I go to the doctor, I'm like, okay, how much longer? And they were like, well, we really can't say. And I'm a planner, so like, that did not help my anxiety. I mean, I started having anxiety-induced urticaria. So like, I would break out in a rash, I would break out in a rash, like my ear would be like as red as your shirt. Like I would just be clawing at my head. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Figured out it was anxiety.
You still doing it?
No. Look, that's like the Jesus got a thing.
So you actually went to a therapist?
Yeah, I had to. Like I really, like one of my friends who, she's young, black professional like me. She told me, we were talking one day, she said, I ain't gonna worry about you. And I was like, that's just, I'm having a hard time sleeping. This just allowed me. Because like Joy would have to help me. I mean, because like this, even on right-handed, you still have to do stuff with your left. Like it would take me a normal chore to make like washing dishes. That would take me 15 to it'd take like an hour and a half because I would have to sit down and get back up. Like that was, I've never, like I'm always the helper. Like not the
Like you needed the help.
Yeah, that messed with me. And she was like, I could therapist. It's like, you got a therapist? Because like I would have never thought that. Or I would have never thought that she needed one, you know. I was just like, I think you should. I was like, okay, so she was like, yeah. So I called. I was like, I would like a black woman.
So you asked specifically for a black woman?
I said, I need somebody who understands the struggles that I have.
That's what the mayor just, when we were talking to the mayor doctor we had on the show, that's the same thing he said. Your doctor need to know who you are.
He needs spirituality.
Yeah, all of that.
Which come with the Jesus.
Yeah. And she was, and that was nothing. I want a Christian, female, black female therapist. Like, oh, that's what I want. And they're like, okay, we'll do that today, so we'll give you a call back.
So how important is therapy, especially for females? How important is therapy for a female?
Oh, I think it's like,
Especially a black female.
so I was having this conversation with somebody the other day, and actually with my makeup artist earlier. We are in 2022, but we're still expected to have all these things handled like it's 1972, like the A don't work.
Preach! Preach!
And so,
Preach!
you know, I think that if you're holding it together and you don't feel like you need one, I'm not gonna push it on anybody. But I do, like for me during that phase, like it was like crucial. Like I needed it. Like I needed someone who's impartial. Because a friend is sometimes a friend is gonna tell you what you want to hear. They're gonna agree with you. And for me, like when I started going, well, we did video or whatever, I realized there were a lot of things that I never really dealt with, and it just compounded everything in my accident.
Outside of the accident.
Like I lost, my mom has 3 sisters, and 2 of them passed away within like a 7-month time frame, unexpected, and I was very close to both of them. And then when the second one passed away, 2 months before that, Joey got his second cancer diagnosis. So I was dealing with all this, but I never realized, like, I never really grieved any of that. And it wasn't until I started talking to her, she asked about her family. She's like, tell me about yourself, tell me. And she was like, well, you never had an opportunity to grieve. And like when I graduated with my doctorate, my godmom, who I'm like super close to, she died. I never really grieved her.
Just my point.
Yeah.
On one of our past interviews, we were talking about our reluctance to seek counseling, and sometimes because it comes with a negative. That may not just be the case of because of the negativity behind it, because we're so busy. And when you start prioritizing all the things that you need to allocate your time to counseling, it's not really a thing that you slow down and say, hey, I need to check mental health. Now, as you get older, there's other things you do start checking. You say, okay, it's a lot of irrational heart attacks. Let me go get my heart checked. Or if it's COVID, any type of flu symptoms right now, we're going to get tested. But for us, mental health, even though the brain is an organ, we really don't look at it as something that needs maintenance.
What does that rank? What should it rank on when you talking about physical fit and mental health? Where should that rank?
I think it should be number 1.
Right.
Because I come over here and older people say stress brings about sickness. I've seen it. Like anxiety, like I literally want to claw my hair out. Like I ended up in the emergency room. I thought I was having a heart attack. It's because my whole side was spasming. Like it was like stress. Like so I think, because I feel like if your mental is not intact, nothing else is going to be
Absolutely.
So I think it should, but it does, especially like in our community. Like I can remember being a little girl and hearing people talk about Cheetah Mental Institute. Like, and I can remember people saying, so-and-so went to Cheetah, they had to go to the crazy house. Like, we just don't.
Same way in the military, when you hear them say somebody's gunshot, once they come back from the deployment or something like that, so you kind of push away from it.
But is it that people feel like look at them a certain way? They go with that.
That's part of it. Part of it is they just busy. They just don't pay attention to it.
Especially in your case, I mean, being a mom, being a career mom, being a wife, like you busy sometimes. First of all, you don't recognize it. Then you busy, and you just, you know.
And for me, like, I'm a believer. I believe in praying, fasting, tithing, giving. I believe that Jesus died, rose, he lives, and coming back again.
I know Jesus too.
So a lot of times people kind of look at you like maybe you don't really believe if you say, okay, I'm sick, I'm gonna go to a therapist. I feel like, especially in our community, like, but yes, I do. I know what Jesus can do. I have seen him work miracles, but I also believe that he put nurses. Psychologists. He put them here.
He ain't coming on earth. He ain't coming on earth to do it for you.
He got to do that. I think part of this, you don't see it either, because with some of our churches, some of our black churches, that's a need that has never been addressed. So if we don't have grief counseling, we don't have marriage counseling, like classical marriage counseling in our churches. So people don't normally look at those things as a form of.
What do you mean by that? Because I
sort of like trained therapists.
Okay.
Marriage and counseling therapists.
But with the pastor qualified?
No.
How so? If he's married, so how? Because I did marriage counseling with a pastor. He wasn't he was a pastor though. So why would you put that?
So why you say no and why you say yeah?
Why you
You say yeah.
Because my husband and I, we almost 12 years in, and we did counseling with our pastor, and he, like, yes, it was biblically based, but some of the things that he had us do, some of the things we still practice those things. That, like, my favorite exercise he did was on our counseling sessions, we had to park a car. But the thing was, the person parking the car was blindfolded, and the other person had to tell them how to park the car. And while he had me, like when it was my turn, Joe was in the passenger seat, I was parking, I'm blindfolded. He built my pastor and all kinds of stuff. He was like, Joe, turn the radio up. And he would be in my ear telling me stuff, and he was like, Joe, do this, Joe, do that. But the point of the exercise was the only voice I was supposed to listen to was Joey's. And if I listen to Joey's, I would park the car correctly. But if I'm listening to the radio, if I get distracted and listen to what Pastor Carl was saying, I I wouldn't park the car right. And what that said was, he was like, that's how your marriage is gonna be. You're gonna have a whole lot of people. You're gonna have parents, you're gonna have cousins, you're gonna have girlfriends, you're gonna have homeboys. They're gonna tell you stuff. But at the end of the day, the only voice that you should be listening to is your spouse. So, and he, like I said, it was biblically based, but it was like really good counseling. Like,
So I wouldn't say that sounds like he had a pretty good counseling session. And I'm not saying that it's not a need for just normal preachers in order to address marriage counseling. However, the same way that you're a nurse, spiritually, I believe there's benefits to prayer also. So for whatever health benefit, I believe that prayer can assist you physically. However, I'm still gonna go see my nurse.
so you said
In addition to. And so what I'm saying is, I don't think that we have trained individuals, like you're licensed in a particular skill. Within our churches, that their skill sets just for marriage and family counseling,
Right.
or grief counseling, professionals, licensed individuals that can address those needs. And I think we're kind of missing that piece of it.
I agree with that. In addition to, I agree with that.
Yeah, I can go with that in addition to. And now there is a big shortage in mental health providers, like especially in the state of Alabama. And in a lot of churches, you are right. Like if you go to larger, like mega churches, they might have like whole grief team.
Right.
And that's all.
Right.
But in rural areas, a lot of times there aren't.
Right.
Whenever we call it to a routine.
Yeah.
I think they get better as far as counseling, because 20 years ago,
When nobody talking about it.
wasn't nobody at all.
You didn't go to counseling 20
Right.
years.
Yeah,
Unless you
probably
did.
getting married.
Then it was private. Didn't nobody know about it. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody didn't know about it. You trying to hide more than going to counsel office back then, but now
Yeah.
everybody talk about it.
Yeah, you want to know your business. That back then was different from now. So
Yeah.
it was a lot of, we talk about that.
A lot of stigmas. A lot of stigmas. And then too, I think like being like a black woman when you think counseling, oftentimes we're given this, strong black woman. Like you never hear that adjective when describing other nationalities, but when we come to, it's like, you got a strong black woman, and I think for like being a black woman, going to therapy, counseling might be looked at like, oh, she's weak, she can't handle this or handle that, because we're expected to. Oh yeah.
Double time that for a man though.
Oh yeah.
Now a man that need
I
counseling.
agree. I totally
What would
agree.
he be called? I mean,
I agree. I totally agree.
Your husband, he's a minister.
Yep, he's preached minister. I guess since the last time I was on, he preached his first sermon in March of last year.
I didn't know that.
So he felt comfortable with getting his. Now everybody needs somebody. Let's say your therapist needs a therapist.
Yeah.
So he felt comfortable with the marriage counseling coming from another pastor.
Which we weren't married with it. I mean, not married. He wasn't married at the time.
Oh, he wasn't at the time. Okay.
But even
Did y'all
now,
do addition too, or did y'all just do?
we just did our pastor.
Pastor, okay.
It was like a 6 or 8 weeks. It was like we had a lot of. Like the first.
You did 6 weeks of counseling with your pastor?
That's a full.
That might be asking questions.
That's a full.
It was like.
Cause I don't know nobody who did. You the first I ever heard done
We
six
did
weeks.
like 6 weeks. We had like
That's a boot camp.
we had it really like the first.
You need for marriage.
We had like the first session. We had like these packets, and we had homework. Like we had all these questions. When we walked out, he was like, "There's anything that you all need to tell each other. You need to do it before you come back next time." Like it was real.
So he really mentally prepared y'all for
Oh
that.
yeah. And even and it wasn't like a one and done. Like even since then, we went to him. Like when Joey got ready to accept his call, after he accepted his call to preach, I knew that was gonna be a different situation that we went to him and his wife.
Absolutely.
They encouraged us. It wasn't a one and done like that.
But you agree that most pastors don't have that skill set.
Yeah, our pastor. He has like a master's in like human resources.
So you got the.
Right. You got to name the church, but it sounds like a mega church. It sounds like.
In our spirit, it is. We might not have it in the end, but
6 weeks of.
Yeah, counseling. It's
Major.
major.
I never heard.
yeah.
Especially back in the day, he never.
Yeah.
It was 6 weeks or nothing.
Then they still follow up. Like,
Yeah,
they stuff after that.
yeah.
It didn't because y'all.
No.
Well, and then, you know, and I know this guy. He's like that with everybody. Like because there's the other couples that he counsels. Like him and his wife are very personal. So, say tomorrow, Joy and I go to church and we got a question for him about something. Him and his wife will sit down and talk to him.
That's good. Cool. I think that's what you would be making. Most people don't got it. Yeah.
Not close to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very supportive.
At most, they get basic instruction on marriage and just conflict resolution. They don't even have that.
Basic surface.
What's that?
Basic surface. Just they don't. I don't think they dive into it like this 6-week program. Most churches.
Yeah.
He did it. I'm glad he did it.
But that's the thing about it, because that probably should change because a lot of people, they ain't going to no real therapist when they talk about marriage now.
So that was my
You don't
point even on the
think
last
about it.
segment when you think about, we were talking about how schools are lacking that resource, and I think we're looking for the wrong place for the resource to fix these issues.
Because they ain't, I don't want to say that, but they don't got the education and stuff to help fix you in that area.
Our priority. Who is better equipped to know the priorities of the community other than the ministry leaders? So the responsibility, as we become aware now, of the effects of it, 20 years ago we just didn't know.
Right.
But now as we becoming more knowledgeable of it and understand the need of it, then the church they gotta
make that
address it
difference.
just like everybody else. So,
And now I'll say this, like I know with our church back in the fall, we did outreach where we went out into a housing project community and did some things like gave out Bibles and we gave out hand sanitizer and masks and all this stuff. We went, but even with that, we realized that we had to go further. So we set up, like they have like a community center. We set up there, but we still had to go knock door to door to get people to come.
what was the response?
We actually had a really good response, but we had to go to them to get them to come to us.
They wouldn't come to me,
And the director, when we went to him and told him like, hey, we want to do something in the community, that was one of the things he told us. Like he had worked with churches before that, you know. They're like, okay, we set up, that should be all. We shouldn't have to come over here, set up, and then go knock on every door. So I think with that too, even if the resources are there, are people going to be receptive to them and receive them? Because you could have 10 grief counselors in a church, but if nobody ever goes and says, I need grief counseling.
What is the information level?
I think with like social media and all that, I think it's a lot.
Like, but
It's
I'm
more
saying,
readily
like
available.
right now, if I wanted to go get me a counselor, it ain't nobody that I know. You see what I'm saying? So when I say the resources there, do you know the information? Some people just don't know the information. And we in a good situation. You know what I'm saying? Think about the people that's in a bad situation, how they even get half of the information that we get.
That's true. And it's like it's a T.D. Jakes term I was listening to one day, and he gave basically an analogy that he was talking about one little kid who he lived like in low income, and every day he came out, that's what he saw. And there was another kid who lived up and they took him somewhere else and showed him something else. And the kid who went to see something, see more than his front door, he went out and did other things. But the kid who only saw his front door, he just kept repeating the cycle.
Right.
So I was, growing up, like being around, because my uncle, I have uncles that are pastors, and I would hear people say, they call him, they didn't call a wife, but that's not the case.
That's not
because one, we are one, we became one, I'm serious, that's what we're one. But no, I'm not out there, I'm not in the pulpit with him every Sunday when he does call the worship or when he's asked to go preach. No, I'm not up there with him. But I'm praying for him. I'm intercepting situations so that they don't get to him.
You got a job to do too.
Yeah, so like for example, when it's his Sunday to do Sunday school, we already know the routine. You don't go in the bed, you don't go in the basement. With what you need, we need to be home at a decent time because otherwise he's gonna start worrying. And so you don't want him not to focus on what, like all these things, and then just being there, like being his listening ear when he God give them a text, I'm like, what do you think about that? You know, like just being available and being supportive. So when people say, oh no, they call him, not you, no, that's not. And then my thing has always been, I'm talking about pastor's wife, and I've talked about this before, I never want anything I do to overshadow the call that God has on his life, because I realize, like, this is a serious assignment, like, really serious assignment. I mean, which people do. I knew Joel was called to preach way before he accepted his call, and when he did, we both like, it's real.
It's here.
It's real, because there are, like, people here, oh, pastor's wife, or minister, you know, I can't say minister's wife, they think like glitz and glam, but people put expectations, like, and a lot of times Belyeu is the person who gets the brunt of it, because people have so many expectations. Like, I'm sure y'all heard of preachers' kids are the worst kids.
Absolutely.
It's not that preachers' kids are the worst kids, it's that people put all these expectations on them, and so they're not allowed to hang out with their friends. They're not 16.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, like right after Joe accepted his call, somebody like came up to them and was like, well, guess you gotta do such and such. Like, it's been time she's worn something that was appropriate. I mean, her kid and my little weird out of the house, and people would, you know, come up to her and say stuff. People, you know, I like to dress, that's my thing. I had people calling people saying, you know, Angel's not gonna be able to, you know, wear all the jeans with them holes on them. Like, and that like, it had got so bad at one point, like, Joey would have to literally talk me down, and we would go places because I would like tear up my closet, because I was like, how is this too short, this too tight, like concerned about what people were gonna think of me. And he like, he was like, I've never seen you wear anything inappropriate, I've never been concerned about that. He was like, well, you're gonna have to be who you are, because if you're anything other than that, you're not yourself. And he said, you don't know what you being you, how that will draw somebody else. It might be a young girl who needs to say, oh, well, that minister's like, well, real jeans, they would accept me. And so after he told me that, I was like, I'm good.
That marriage counselor worked great. This is Joey voice.
I hop out the wheel like a fence. 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 I'm on the moon like a Jackson. I hop out the wheel like a fence. I hop out the wheel like a fence. I hop out the wheel like a fence. I strip the door like a lash. Boy, I'm a fiend out of hell.